Welcome to a day in my life as a bakery owner. As you can see, it is still dark out and there's not much light because it's usually around 5 or 5:30 in the morning when I start my day. First things first, I wash my hands. I don't always show this in the videos because I just think it would be boring. But yes, as a bakery owner or as anyone working in the kitchen, we wash our hands a lot. Okay, good morning. I am ready to go. The first thing I'm going to do is start baking off all of our cookies. Here you can see our big cookie tubs. We keep our freezers absolutely stocked full of frozen cookie dough. And the first thing to do in the morning is to break them all apart. They can get quite stuck together because they are completely frozen and we don't allow these to thaw out. A lot of people always ask in the comments, but we bake immediately from frozen, and that is part of the reason why we have our signature like chunky style cookies. They're like cold, frozen, rock hard dough, and then it allows us to slow down and control the baking process so that the outside is nice and crispy and golden, but the inside of the cookie is nice and soft. And that is the style of cookie that we have become famous for. Another question people always ask me is, why do you call them cookies and not biscuits? That's because for me, definitively, biscuits are very different to cookies. If I think of a biscuit, I think of like something really rock hard that I'm going to dip into a coffee or something, like a tea biscuit. And when I think of a cookie, I think of like a soft, gooey cookie that just melts away in your mouth. Typically, you would eat it still warm, and that is why we continue baking throughout the day. So we open at 8 a.m., but we are open until 5 p.m. most days. And so we can just continue baking like the entire day. The ovens don't stop. We have 2 5-tray ovens, you'll see there on the right-hand side, and each of those fit 5 trays with 11 cookies. So 55 cookies per oven every 13 minutes, and we just keep baking non-stop. We actually keep adding ovens and keep adding freezers just so that we can keep up, because even though we have been selling out for a while now, once we sell out, we go, okay, well, we maybe need to make more. And so we find ways to make more, but now we are absolutely at capacity. The most cookies we can bake in a single day is about 2,000 cookies. And we are operating in a tiny little 41 square meter space. So that's the best that we can do for our first location, which is our flagship. And then hopefully soon some new locations are coming next. Another question I get asked all of the time is, what are the best-selling flavors and what are your favorite flavors? So we'll start off with my favorite. My favorite flavor is actually called the NYC cookie. It is dark chocolate chips and walnut. It has been my favorite flavor since day one. And fun fact, when I first opened the doors to the bakery, it was the only flavor of cookie that we had. It was the one single flavor, and it was so popular and so many people loved it that I decided we would start making different flavors of cookies. And so from there, we built out a range. The next flavors that I would say are most popular outside of that one are red velvet, Biscoff, Nutella, and they're all injected with a gooey center. We also have a really popular double chocolate cookie, and we only launched a chocolate chip cookie, like a classic plain chocolate chip cookie, I think about 1.5 years after opening, which it took me a long time to cave. A lot of people asked for it, and then I was like, okay, like let's try and make the perfect chocolate chip cookie. That one has milk chocolate chips, and so it's better for people who have like a more sweet profile and want like a more sweet cookie, because with the NYC cookie, that's more balanced. It has the dark chocolate chips and the walnuts, which also balance it out, so it's not like overly sweet. It's just it's my favorite cookie, hands down. So those will be our best-selling flavors, and then some of the most popular seasonal specials that we have done have become so popular that we cannot take them off the menu because people get very upset. The most famous flavor that we created is the almond croissant cookie, and I wanted to create a cookie that literally tasted and had the same texture as an almond croissant. So it is injected with almond pastry cream, and then it is rolled in almond flakes, and it has white chocolate chips as well, because it is still a cookie, not an actual almond croissant. And that would, I'd say, be the most popular flavor that I have created. And then we've also done lots of specials like a macadamia, which is a matcha cookie with macadamias. We have a salted caramel flavor coming out. We have lemon cheesecake cookie. It just never stops. Like, my brain is constantly thinking about all the different cookie flavors that we can create. I really want to do a strawberry shortcake soon. A pistachio was really popular, which was injected with pistachio cream, and then of course had big chunks of white chocolate chips and pistachios as well. But honestly, the list is endless. We just keep creating new flavors and you guys keep selling them out. So Another good one I really love around Christmas time is a snickerdoodle cookie. I think because at that time of year, everyone's it's fall in the Northern Hemisphere, so everyone's having more kind of cinnamon flavors, and it just reminds me of Christmas. So we always make the snickerdoodle cookie around Christmas time, and it always is a really big hit. I'm actually trying to think if there have been any cookie flavors that haven't sold well. There definitely have been ones that haven't sold as well as we thought they would. We did a turtle cookie, which is like a chocolate base with chocolate chips, pecans, and caramel injected in the center. And I think because turtle is not a really popular flavor over here in Australia, people just didn't really know what it was. So we changed the name of it to chocolate pecan caramel, which is also just like a mouthful. So it just didn't sell as well as I thought it would. But if you guys have any suggestions or flavors that you would like to see me create, I'm actually really excited to share more of the recipe creation process with you. So if you have any flavor ideas, please let me know in the comments below, because I am so excited to now be at the point where we have hired such a great team in the bakery that I can spend more time outside of the bakery working on the business instead of in the business. So I really want to share more of that recipe development process with you guys from my home kitchen, and then those flavors that we create together from home will finally end up in the bakery, and you guys will be able to purchase them in real life. As for secrets to creating the perfect cookie, I have included all of my tips and tricks in my recipe book, which comes out a little later this year. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box below. But all of the recipes from the bakery, like every single best-selling recipe, the almond croissant cookie, the NYC cookie, the double choc cookie, the red velvet cookie, Biscoff, Nutella, all of the recipes that we make in the bakery will be available inside the cookbook. So all of the best sellers in there, also the gluten-free NYC cookie. And it's just going to be a really fun time for me to see you guys all around the world creating my cookie recipes from your home kitchens. There's also a lot more recipes outside of cookies. It's just the thing that we are most famous for. But my best brownie recipe, I swear to you, the best brownie recipe you'll ever try in your life is inside the cookbook. And there's a total of 100 recipes. So there's a sticky date pudding, there's a banoffee pie, apple crumble, which is really popular in Australia. There's a section gifts for friends, all of my favorite cheesecake recipes, cake recipes. Here I am having my morning coffee. To be honest with you, I have a few a day. But yeah, if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link to pre-order below, because as soon as it comes out, it is available now in the US, in the UK, in Canada, in Australia, all over the world. It just keeps getting released in different countries. So I'm really excited to be a part of your baking adventures in the kitchen later this year. As you can probably see, a lot of my day in the bakery is quite repetitive, putting things into the oven, taking things out of the oven. It's so busy that we can't stop baking. So we have to always be, as soon as anything comes out of the oven, have something ready to put something back in. So you'll see these baking trolleys here that I'm pushing around. We actually have 3 of those in the bakery, and it's really difficult to fit that many in our small bakery, but we have to always be ready to take things out and put things straight back in. This is a look at our almond croissant cookie. Here you will see the last thing I do is dust it with icing sugar, just like an almond croissant. And I would say after the NYC cookie, that is my second favorite cookie. Whenever I break one, I immediately just decide that it is a sacrifice and I get to have it. But if I've already had one for the day, then I'll always share with the team. But yeah, I definitely put myself first in those situations, because I'm hiding out the back in the kitchen and no one knows. So I'm always eating the broken cookies before that's so bad to admit to, but yeah. I love me a cookie. And now my next job is to top all of our Nutella cookies. Some of our cookies have toppings on the top. Even though this cookie is injected with a big chunk, 20 grams to be exact, of frozen Nutella, we also put a little bit of extra Nutella spread on the top, and then place a little couple of hazelnuts just for decoration, because this flavor looks exactly the same. It's identical looking to the chocolate chip cookie. And we really want to make sure that people with nut allergies do not confuse the two, even if we know which one is which in the bakery. If they have ordered a nut flavored cookie and then a non-nut flavored cookie, it's really important for us that we can distinguish that for them, just to make sure that if they're giving it to any friends, no one is left wondering if there's any nuts inside. I hate to state the obvious, but the next flavor that I'm putting in the oven is the red velvet cookie. You can see it there in the front of the frame. It is easily one of our, I would say, best 2 selling flavors. Quite often it is the best selling flavor in the bakery. It is injected with cream cheese frosting, and it is so freaking good. Okay, now it's time to take a break from cookies because we do sell lots of other things in the bakery too. Here I am just dispersing all of our cupcake batter into the cupcake pans. All of my cupcake recipes are also in the cookbook, which is really fun because I feel like cupcakes are going to have a revival soon. Ever since Sex and the City, they were super, super popular, and I think now that they're becoming more popular again, like we get a lot of people coming in requesting different flavors, and we do sell out of our cupcakes every single day too. I feel like cake tastes better on day 2. I don't know if that's controversial. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But we always like to bake off all of our cupcakes the day before and then ice them the morning that they go out in the case. So here I am towards the end of the day, just getting all of the cupcake flavors baked. We've got our chocolate base, our vanilla base, and our red velvet base. And then we change all of the fillings and frostings to make lots of different flavors. Here they are, perfectly out of the oven, ready to eat. But I have to tell myself that I cannot. If you've ever wondered if I eat things in the bakery, yes, I absolutely do. That is one of the best parts about owning a bakery, is that you get to taste and try everything. So whenever I'm hungry, I always have a little snack. It changes all the time, but I pretty much every day will have an NYC cookie, and then it depends on the time of the month. It depends on so many things what I am craving, but I have really been loving the vanilla cake and the chocolate cake bases. So whenever I make a cake base, I do usually have a little snack. But I also go through phases. Sometimes I feel like macarons, and other times I look at them and think there is no way that I want to eat something so sweet. So it just changes depending on the day and depending on my mood. But here I am alternating the wet and the dry ingredients for the cupcakes and making as many of those as I can before I leave for the day, because we always want to have as many as we can ready for the case the next day. And there you can see I'm portioning this batter with the ice cream scoop, which is one of my favorite ways to get the cupcakes in the pans really quick and easy. Give them a little tap on the bench so that they bake perfectly evenly in the oven. And then it's time to put all those cupcakes in the oven and move on to the next task. Last thing I'm going to do for the day is ice some cupcakes. I know I said I do it the day of, but we're also still open today. So whenever we sell out of cupcakes early, I can always just ice some of those cupcakes that I've already made and fill up the case straight away. Here's a little example of how I pipe our double chocolate cupcake. And that's it for a day in my life as a bakery owner. I'll see you guys soon.